Hi Aquarius, and welcome to this Mercury update. And you have been assigned number 4. I guess you know the new rules. I'll be just doing this in order of number of clicks and number of comments. So please click and please comment. From the 4th place, you can really quickly jump to number 1. So this is really quickly update. It's a really heavy energy with all these retrogrades, and I really felt this was really needed. So let's see what we can see over here. You have 9 of Wands, you have Ace of Pentacles, or we rather have it, and there is a 6 of Pentacles. There is this overall feeling, guys, that everything has been slipping out of our fingers. Let me zoom this in so you can see these cards closer, right? So there is this feeling that, look at her. She is a seasoned warrior. You can see the helmet is there, but right now she is being herself. Right now she is processing everything and all the battles that she has been through. But there is like still something that is not starting. So it feels like this period is like which is between the 9th and the 19th, that is going to be extremely heavy. And because of this heaviness, it's going to be really hard to even see what is really ahead of us, right? So this Ace, generally, I always connect with Aquarians. And this, to me, the Ace of Friendship, the Ace of something is going to be long-term. Look at this. It's almost like sun itself glowing. And yeah, and so they kind of like live happily ever after. You kind of like entering this basically Garden of Eden. But in this situation, when it reverses, some seedlings, some possibility is just like not there. Something that is supposed to kind of like hatch did not hatch, because it could have been financial issues that are happening over here. You could be feeling that, oh my gosh, everything I touch is turning into dust, or I'm getting derailed. Maybe you're starting your day and you said, well, for sure today I'm going to do this, and then one thing come in the way, second, third, fourth, and next thing you know, it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, oh my gosh, I still didn't do it. It kind of like is going to feel that time is slipping by in this situation. There are also going to be lots of shocks. I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to be very stressful for Aquarians. Usually fixed signs, Gemini and Virgo, get quite a bit of crap during Mercury retrograde. It seems like this hub, and I'm only covering this until the 19th and 19th to maybe 22nd, let's say, that you kind of like see what is going on. I'm also getting this card that also turning around. Lovely. I love when cards like this show up. It says there's something better. And I feel that many of you listening to this are probably saying to yourself, good Lord, yes, there is something better, right? Look at him. He has like this beautiful, or she has rather to say, this beautiful bouquet with pink and yellow flowers. They are like being held right in front of her heart chakra. So it is basically saying you're focusing on a completely wrong thing. It's not, don't focus on the money, focus on what you love. Yes, there are barriers, there are issues where they're like really hard things to move forward, but there is also a reason for it, right? Like sometimes, destiny holds you back. Like today I went for a walk with Tiger, and I live next to the river, one of the rivers in Toronto, and he saw these birds and seagulls and stuff. And I could tell that he just really wanted to jump in the river. It's very shallow though, so you can literally walk on the other side on some spots, and the other spots is like not much than 2 feet deep. So it's not a big deal in the summer. It could be a big deal in the spring, right? Because we actually had a flood in the 50s from that river. So he came to the edge and he realized he would have to jump down. It was a big jump. and he was mulling it over. He went to the right, he went to the left, and he kind of like realized, okay, I'm not going to do that. I am kind of like really understanding that sometimes there are limitations, and this is how it's going to feel. It's like so close, but we cannot get it. It's going to be a lots of things resurfacing from the past, lots of things exploding in our face, but this is done for a reason. This is done for a reason that we need to release them. It's going to come to us, whether it's a pattern of behavior, whether it is that we feel that other people have been taking advantage of us. And I feel this really strongly in this combination, that is going to come and bubble to the surface and say, look, you stood me up, or you did this to me, not necessarily verbalizing it, but kind of like feeling it in that direction. And that is going to be, look, I kind of like really don't want to do this anymore. And it's going to be that recognition, kind of like releasing those patterns, because clearly we are being held here in order to quote unquote clean the house. Oh my goodness, of course we got Hagalas, which is the rune of the freaking disruption. So let's use these freaking sticks and bangs over somebody's head, right? Like you're probably asking yourself, okay, when is it time for me to receive something? Look at this dude here. He looks like he has the scale, but is he really measuring? Because look at how joyful everybody is. But in this situation, it talks about like this is not given. It could be a financial rough spot over here, as saying, you see, when this is talking and taken literally, because this is kind of like feeling powerless and feeling uncertainty, but also this is the rune that tells us that we have to build some quality which we really don't have, which is called patience. So Hagalas indicates generally postponement of plans or cancellation of plans, and sometimes because of the bad weather, but then it's becoming kind of like being general, kind of looking in that, right? This kind of like more subtle message would be kind of like this deeper intent, that kind of like those cold winds, let's say, of harsh reality is about to blow through our life. And it's going to be maybe even dealing with authorities. It's maybe dealing with the people who should do something. The rule is there, but they are not going to protect you even if you're a victim. They are going to protect the other side, and it's going to hurt. It's going to feel like crap. But because you're listening to this reading, like, you can prepare yourself for these winds, right? It is really important to meditate. It is really important to let go. And all we can realistically do during this difficult time is to kind of like wrap up kind of like us warmly and kind of like take that shelter from the storm, right? We unfortunately in that confinement or in that powerless position. So we are being told, well, do not go out in the storm. And if you experience the storm coming to you, the windows or the doors haven't been closed properly, right? Then do not allow your imagination to run crazy and, oh my gosh, something is going to happen. Like, so do not evoke unfounded fears, right? So Hagalas is also symbolically connected to Halloween, right? Because of all of these kind of like monsters and everything that we dress up with, right? Because we all want to scare others. You also sometimes have to understand, I need to mention this because of these two cards coming together, right? That sometimes this interpretation of this rune emphasizes the link to gambling. So it can show that something risking too much. Do not, I repeat, until 22nd, do not spend money on anything that is called luxury, on any gambling. Do not even play freaking lottery, right? So you can be sure, I assure you, that the odds are stacked against you, that you're going to lose. If you guys are signing up a contract, oh my God, do not do it during this time. Invent whatever. You need to travel in Europe. You have like freaking bad disease. Lawyer is not there to review it. Like, because if you don't, it's going to come back and come back and come back, and things are going to be so different from what you anticipated that you will really, really regret it. Just like moving a few days down is going to kind of like calm this entire situation. So guys, sit tight, put the storm on notice that you are in a warm blankie, and that you are going to be better when the storm is over. And this is really lovely, and it's going to be somebody, it's going to be a question of the heart, and it's going to make you feel really, really good. I love you, Aquarius. Just sit tight, this too shall pass. I love you.